Hello, welcome to the finale of Earth Defense Force 5. Where last left off, we were almost at good old 100. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, we have a cave mission, which hopefully this one won't be too annoying. Yeah, the cave missions in 4.1 are a bit more annoying because you just can't really see anything at all.
Many teleportation anchors fell down into this area, and they're teleporting the monsters.
What?
Teleportation anchors underground.
Excuse me.
Teleporting monsters to the underground if we don't find them. If that's the case, we're doomed. We have to get to the bottom of this.
Well, let's destroy him. I mean,
Ready to fight, aren't you?
will I be able to rocket jump up there if I'm unable to jump? Okay, I got up there anyway. Didn't want to waste health rocket jumping, so... I win anyway! Oh yeah, in my last stream I brought up the atmospheric pressure thing. I was very close, it's like 14.7 PSI. And then again, it varies based on your altitude and such. Which is actually something interesting about that. The higher your altitude, the easier it is to like boil water, I believe. Like, yeah, because the atmospheric pressure is lower, it takes less heat to boil it, I think. Huh. Yeah, which is why if you ever look at the recipes, sometimes you may see like a high altitude instruction. That's what that's about. Yeah. That's what. Okay. Yeah. Oh boy. How did it get down here anyway? Guess they weren't kidding when they said some landed down here. I thought they were talking about like specifically the robotic ant nests, but guess not. I don't exactly know why water boils easier the higher altitude you go, but I do believe it does have to do with atmospheric pressure. I do know that in a vacuum, water just kind of boils away right there, so... Yeah, vacuums are kind of scary. Ooh, weapon. Ah, darn it. Like frickin' Plinko. It's just what it reminded me of. Where you think it's gonna go one way and then, oh, no it doesn't. Like, I remember that in frickin' The Price is Right. Yeah, I remember I actually had a Price is Right, like, game on my phone or something once. It was neat to play. Although, the prices are probably, like, wildly off these days. On that old one. Nah, it's a Dead King now. Oh, just an ant. I mean, they're almost all down, and... Wow, ain't he pretty. Oh, okay. But, yeah, the... Oh. Yeah, it must be awkward as heck to be, like, the first person to bid when there's, like, 4 people up front trying to bid on the item. Must be awkward as heck. Because then every person in front of you can just bid like $1 over you. And unless you somehow got it right on, you ain't winning. You ain't going past that stage, I mean.
I wonder what happened to the Vanguard. There must be some bikers. We need to find them.
Oh. There we go. Forgot it was control that activates this menu.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I used to watch game shows a lot as a kid. I liked, Whammy, Press Your Luck. I liked that one. I liked... Family Feud can be pretty funny sometimes. I did not care for Deal or No Deal. I just didn't at all.
Watch out, buddy. You saved my life.
It was so boring, honestly. They're like, oh yeah, this. Okay, yeah, open this one. Oh, it's like 10,000. Whatever. Oh, bank offer. Okay, whatever. I just like so boring. What other game shows were there? Gosh. I used to watch them as a kid, so I should remember some more. Never really watched Jeopardy myself.
Rescue team has been dispatched.
Or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Those weren't really my kind of shows, I guess. But yeah, The Price is Right was fun. The what else was there? Oh yeah, I remember the story about this one guy who figured out the pattern in Press Your Luck. He was like a milk driver or something, I can't remember. And he watched it and he figured out the actual pattern. And he won like the most ever. And yeah, there was a controversy about it, but since he technically wasn't cheating, he just figured out the pattern of the randomizer. They eventually gave him the money. And what he did was he converted all of them into $1 bills to win a radio contest, saying like, oh, if your dollar matches this serial number, we'll give you another prize. And someone went in and stole all the dollar bills. Yeah, it was a pretty messed up story, honestly. But yeah, he actually just figured out the pattern. Oh yeah, there's this. I remember there was this one person who was in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire who had someone in the audience like cough whenever the player was reading out the answers, and the cough would be the signifier of the right one. And of course, yeah, that's blatantly cheating. Oh.
Pretty close. It was the last one. It's okay. I'm all right. It's the enemy's reinforcement. The enemy shows up. The enemy's
Wait, we're...
Yes, sir.
Okay, I was there before, because there's loot down there, so I should probably go backwards. Place is like a freaking maze.
Yes, sir.
What other game shows were there? I googled game shows and a lot of these I've never heard of. What the heck? Yeah, huh. I mean, I've heard of Ninja Warrior. That thing is... I watched that a little bit. Kind of just crazy, the athletic feats they have to do in that. And I am not very athletic. I mean, I can do 50 jumping jacks in a row, but bloody hell. That's like it. And I can do 10 push-ups, but other than that, I am not very athletic. Even when I was a kid, I was just not very athletic at all. Yep.
I saw a gigantic monster. It was a king.
Wow, that was nice. Just got all of them there.
There's the enemy.
This seems to be the right way. Oh, yeah, it definitely is. Okay. Oh, and I will be needing a good sniper rifle at the end game. At the second to last mission, I mean. Because...
A king! We've spotted a king!
it's pretty overwhelming. Yeah. And there's a lot of long-range things you need to hit. And the shotgun just won't really cut it. And a rocket launcher would kind of be too slow to hit them anyway. You'll see when I get there, which I will be beating this game tonight. Even if it takes me 4 hours, I'll do it. But it's only 11 stages, so it shouldn't
every major city
be that long.
has been destroyed by the motherships.
Oh.
So what if they destroy a city? They're deserted anyways. Monsters are being dropped by the aliens in the mountain regions. They're trying to hunt down those who fled into the mountains.
Oh. Yeah, it seems like they're trying to mop up. Yeah, we are definitely backed up against the wall. Come on. Yeah, I don't know why. I can't really remember the other game shows I watched. I mean, I turned on the Game Show Network a lot as a kid. It was just fun to watch. It's one of those things you can be like, oh, haha, I got that right. But yeah, Jeopardy was not one I watched. At all. Game shows kind of less of a thing these days. I honestly don't know. I haven't been keeping up with that stuff because I don't really watch TV anymore. It's mainly just games that I play. Oh, that's really high up. How the heck did they get in here anyway? Yeah, they're taking a lot of damage. Yeah, that should help a little. At least the shotguns can still destroy them, even though it's a higher mission. Let's see. Everything seems fine. Yeah, I should probably get rid of those teleporters, while also trying to mop up the loot. That worked. Oh, sorry. Yeah, these health pickups are not healing them, like, at all. It heals them a little bit, but it's not a lot at all. It adds up, I guess. That is such a weird line. Actually, I believe the, was it the Japanese title when they were developing this game, Immigrants? But maybe, I think they changed it to Primers anyway. Pudayama. Yeah. Yeah, I may be misremembering, but... Yeah, I'm probably misremembering. I mean, it would explain that line, that weird line, I guess. But then again, it wasn't like that in the Japanese release. Because they did call them primers. I mean, a lot of things do get changed during development. There is a whole bunch of things that are cut in games. Sometimes they're, like, cut because they just don't have enough time to fully flesh them out, or they're cut because, well, balance issues, or they're cut just because they don't think it would fit in the game. Some things that are cut are actually pretty cool. Although, one thing, Fallout New Vegas has a lot of cut things that actually would have been cool that they just didn't have enough time for. That would have been really cool for them to fully make.
Let's start the fight soon. They're out of range. Confirm the target.
It would be awesome if Fallout New Vegas had like 6 to 12 months more time for development. I wonder what kind of game it would have been then. Because as it is, it's still a fantastic game. With some issues, of course. But, I mean, very short development time. Just is what it is. Now, let's see. 29? Ooh, T2 Stork. Yeah, that damage is pitiful. Ooh, upgrade. 90 to 200. Yeah, that's a significant boost. Rate of fire, really good. Sweet. Yeah, I was definitely needing upgrades to that weapon. The greatest final confrontation. Oh, wait a minute. Is this what I think it is? Warbarg is all of them. Oh, boy. I really hope this is what I think it is. We might need this, actually. And a, yeah, sure, why not a Lysander? Let's try it out. Energy weapons instead of ballistic weapons to reduce for weight. They deal the most damage. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. I mean, they have the monster rifle. And monster, like, drains, like, all of your energy, but deals a ton of damage.
Barga team, form a barrier. All other units support Barga and attack inbound hostiles.
Wow, look at that.
Nova, inform all Barga units.
That's awesome.
Nice for impact.
Oh, oops.
Detach.
Not used to that projectile speed, I guess. Got him.
Barga 7's foot has taken some minor damage.
Oh, sorry. Said that right when I accidentally shot that one's foot. That's funny.
Barga team, commence assault.
Oh, that's a shotgunner. Crap. Whatever.
Barga 4, attack now!
Barga 5 here.
There we go.
Barga 6
Come on! Dang. Just so many are blocking the pathway to my target. Oh my gosh. Whatever, I'll just keep pelting them with rifle ammo. Oh, this one shoots forward instead of up. Interesting. Yeah, it is party time. Ah, darn it. Oh yeah, it's very sturdy. Pop.
Concentrate attack on Urginus.
Yeah, sometimes it's Urginus, sometimes it's Urginus.
But helpless against the rest. Infantry.
I guess it just depends on the game. Oh yeah, this is why I brought the MLRA. Because we will need to... Oh, hello. Great shooters. They're spiders. Might as well... Yeah, artillery guy. Picking them off one by one. Oh. Oh, come on! Okay, there we go. Oh, nice.
This is Scout. Aliens coming from the right.
Oh! I was waiting for the spider to get out of the way, and then it freaking just crouched right before I fired.
Attacking. Aliens coming from both sides. Attacks coming from both sides.
30 missiles. Ah, it's glorious. But can't fire all of them right now because not enough enemies. And I think, oh, that's like a fusion rifle. Yeah, those you can't reload on the field. I think it actually would be neat if you could like get near a wing diver and recharge off that. That'd be neat, honestly. Because there actually is some weapons for the fencer that you can't use without an aerator. Yeah, I'm way too far away. Well, good thing I brought the Lysander. Oh, that's the EMC.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's about time.
Yeah, long as hell range. And I do need it for this.
I'm counting on you, partner. Got it. Ready to fight, aren't you?
Oh, come on. There we go. Couldn't see because of the EMC.
Colossal monsters approaching combat areas? It's a horde of Urginus!
Oh boy.
A horde of Urginus?
I probably should be helping him get rid of the spiders, but loot.
Fight, aren't you? Don't fear death. Make death fear you.
Ha, nice. What's flying over there?
All teams, move in.
Oh, never mind.
Sir, yes, sir.
I guess they weren't flying. I guess the radar kind of counts them as higher up. Okay, now those are definitely flying.
This is Scout. Monsters are coming. Yes, sir. We are almost in the enemy's range.
Oh boy.
Spotted! Heavy armored aliens!
This is awkward.
Heavy armored aliens in sight.
A shield bearer?
That's the shield bearers.
Is this... Oh, goodness. Wasn't there a part in Star Wars where there were like, shields like that? And it was fought on the plains? It's probably the prequels.
Focus your fire on one.
And I think, yeah, you could just walk through the shields as well.
Argus 7 here. Why does the yellow light keep blinking?
Probably because I didn't take care of the ants. I was just too busy focusing on loot. Oh well.
Target 3, I was hit, but I can still keep it up. Target 2 suffers.
And yes, you can destroy them, the Erginus on your own. I don't know. You can kill the Godzillas on their own. On your own. They just have a lot of health. You know, so it'll take a lot of bullets.
Vargas 6 here. Suffered moderate damage.
But the Lysander's a pretty cool weapon. Really slow rate of fire, but that is a huge amount of range. I am. They're in my range. See? That ant is gone. Yeah, they're getting destroyed. But yeah, this fight is honestly amazing. Oh boy. Oh, okay, doesn't do damage to me. Excuse me. Oh, that hurts.
Took some nasty blows.
My eyes, I mean. Let's get in there and destroy the shield bearers. Oh. Kind of protecting each other there.
Yes, sir.
Oh, come on, right when I got in. Here. What? Was that right when I fired? Oh my god, it hit the shield. What the heck? Okay, one is down.
Flying objects confirmed. It's flying type monsters.
Flying-type monsters are natural enemies of the bargain. Infantry, take them out.
Yeah, they sure like using that term, natural enemies of. Yeah, this is going to be awkward because it takes a couple hits to destroy their helmets. But once they're destroyed, I can just pop them.
We just
See?
can't deal
Like this. Haha!
Mysterious monster Archelaus spotted.
Oh boy. Archelaus?
Multiple Archelaus.
Oh boy.
Barga team, Archelaus incoming. Engage now. Don't look down on. It's Archelaus. Archelaus incoming. A single one of them can destroy an entire city.
Yep. I mean,
For it.
probably so can Erginus. I mean, they're both kaiju. And that's kind of what kaiju do. And wow, that dropped nothing. I guess the game is just like, another for you. Just no more. But legit though, it's probably because there's some kind of limit to how many loot items can be in the world.
Barga 5, my armor is taking a hit.
Barga 5 just sounded no nonchalant about that. Oh, hello. Oh gosh. Honestly, there's a real sense of scale on this mission. Like, I really feel absolutely tiny. Oh boy. Legit though, it is. It's kind of awe-inspiring, to be honest.
Confirmed. Tadpole.
Oh boy.
Flying types incoming! Barga 7 here. The red light is blinking. Doesn't look good.
Good thing I brought a missile launcher, because gonna be a lot of them.
Vargas 6 here.
Uh-oh.
Alien incoming.
You actually can get a Barga to call upon by yourself, actually. But it's a higher level, I believe. Oh boy. I can't really think of another game with a sense of scale like this, where you just feel so small. And I am legitimately surprised I'm not having frame drops. The game is still working great.
Combat strength
Oh.
of the Barga team is decreasing.
Yes, it is.
Heavily damaged. Can't run any longer.
Maybe I should have brought a shotgun instead of the missile launcher. That might have been a better idea.
Dispatch Team B.
Wait, does the Lysander penetrate? Darn it. Couldn't fire around in time. Hello.
Noble to Barger B. Detachment procedure in place.
Oh, more Barga. Hello. I think eventually you do gain control of one. They're like, oh, we don't have a pilot. Oh, okay, there we go. There's performance dip.
Detaching now. Bargate, my unit's making strange noises. Help me.
One more. What? I didn't lead the shot too well, I guess.
Select your targets.
Oh, what the? Oh, Arculus. Ah, great.
Team got defeated by those monsters.
Oh boy. This is really bad.
Arculus is up.
Take it, I missed. I'm gonna die.
Cover Barger team.
Damn it. Oh well. I guess now you see what my character name is. Okay, retreat. I'll rethink my equipment. Ooh, Goliath D2. Okay, that lock-on time bonus. That lock-on bonus is actually pretty, pretty impactful, actually. Instead of the Lysander, how about I use something that fires a lot faster? Because I will still need range, so... How about that? That might work. Ooh. You know...
Barger team, spread out ahead.
Right before stream, I did, like...
Position. The Barger team has arrived.
Ah, darn it, not enough range.
Bargers to battle? And there are 8 of them.
But that is
Barger
pretty
team,
far
form a
away.
area. All other units support Barga and attack inbound hostiles.
Yeah, that is...
Noble, inform all Barga units.
There we go.
Initialized. Brace for impact.
Excuse me.
Detach.
Yeah, before stream, I did just, like... gulp down a whole half-liter bottle in, like, 10 seconds.
All units, prepare for combat.
Yeah, the human body is pretty weird with that.
Commence assault. Barga 2, engaging.
Actually, I think the best thing to do if you're, like,
Forward.
incredibly dehydrated is to take slower drinks and not just gulp it all down at once. I think? When... Oh, I was right. If it's severe dehydration, yeah. Small sips so your body can properly absorb rather than gulping down. Okay.
6 here, starting combat.
Yeah, I remember hearing that before, but I couldn't remember if it was a thing. Maybe I heard it in a dream, but no, I actually heard it somewhere in real life then.
Wrong with my right foot. Close quarter combat.
Although,
All vehicles prepare to fire.
dreams are kind of weird.
All units. Barga is unarmed. Fire away. Don't let us slow you down. It can be used for combat, but it was originally designed as a plane. The only upside is it's very sturdy, so just fire away.
Yeah.
EMC.
I mean, a crane that kind of just lets go when you don't want it to, that can be very dangerous.
EMC. Enemies to our left.
Actually, would it be best to just use an assault rifle instead?
Barga is
The
only
range may not be amazing, but the DPS is there.
cover Barga and take out the smaller monsters.
Oh, well, if I fail this mission, then yeah, I'll try that. I'll use the stork instead. Oh, ow. Ah, dang, I got stomped on again. Doesn't hurt, but it's annoying. There actually is a mission like this in 4.1 as well, where it's like 50 Bargas versus 50 Urganus. It is pretty freaking awesome.
This is Scout. Aliens coming from the right.
Start attacking. Aliens coming from both sides.
Yep.
Attacks coming from both sides.
Oh, look at all those missiles. I love how that looks. I really don't know what caused me to like the look of like a bunch of homing missiles being fired. Can't think of a place where where I really saw it before. EDF. I feel like I have, but I just can't put my finger on it. Oh, that Barga is in very dire straits. No. Yeah, that Barga is practically, yeah, he's getting mobbed. Oh.
Barga 7 here. Why does the yellow light keep blinking?
Because you're surrounded.
Colossal monsters approaching combat areas? It's a horde of Urchinus.
Honestly, yeah, none of these seem to be smoking. Huh. Although they are on fire, I'll tell you that. Oh, puns.
If we let those creatures enter the city, it'll be wiped out in no time. All teams, move in.
I wonder exactly how much health they have. There'd be a way to get into the code? I don't know.
I'll be the one who kills Roundup. Yes, sir. Scout has spotted the enemy. This is Scout. Monsters are coming.
Yeah, Bargas are tanky as hell.
Suffers from multiple damages.
I think that was Barga 7 who was getting swarmed.
Spotted! Heavy armored aliens!
Yeah, and with that, also the shield bearers.
In sight.
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they got the idea for shield bearers from Star Wars. What was that? Big shield thing, Star Wars. No, not Droidicas. Block. I honestly don't know. I remember it being a thing in Star Wars Battlefront 1, actually, as well. Huh.
That's the shield shield bearers.
I mean, the, back before EA was like, oh yeah, we're just gonna make our own.
Those aliens are wearing tough armor. Focus your fire on one spot.
Yep.
Order one here. I'm damaged. I won't let you die.
Varga 6 here. Suffered moderate damage.
Uh-oh.
Varga 3. I was hit, but I can still keep it up.
Ah, sweet. The shield bearer doesn't have enough range to cover all of them. I'll just focus on one at a time then. Ah, darn it. Put himself inside the shield. Oh, okay, oh, darn it. I got one burst off on him, I guess, so that's good. Oh, dang it! This is awkward. But they're almost like just out of range of it, so shouldn't be. There we go, it's one down. Yeah, I know their helmets actually do have more health, but hey, loot. Oh. I keep forgetting about that one extra round. Really messes with me. Yeah, one thing about Star Wars Battlefront is, yeah, it's just like a large-scale battle.
I'm severely damaged.
You can have like a lot of people fighting at once. It was very impressive for its time. Okay. Wow, there's a lot of loot over there.
The combat strength of the Varga team is decreasing.
Varga 4 here. Took some nasty blows.
Wait, is that the same voice actress? Huh. It sounds like the same person.
Flying objects confirmed. It's flying type monsters.
Flying type monsters are natural enemies of the Varga.
Bees.
Infantry, take them out. Sir, yes, sir.
1. 2. Will I lock on to 3 this time? Nope, even more. Haha. Yeah, that does sound like the announcer lady. I don't know her name. I know a lot of characters in these games aren't actually named. I know in 4.1, like, the only named character was O'Hara. Yeah, it's typically like, oh, just Chief Commander or Operations, things like that. Or, well, Storm 1.
I'm counting on you, partner. I'm the ultimate suit. I'll fight with you, Captain.
But yeah, sometimes in some fiction they are like only called by titles.
Remember what I told you yesterday? That won't work.
Oh boy.
Mysterious monster Arculus spotted.
Whoa! Did a flip, holy crap.
Arculus?
Wow.
Varga team, Arculus incoming. Engage now. It's Arculus. Arculus incoming.
I'm sure those cranes are like
Them can destroy an entire city.
heavier than
No match for it.
the Urginus.
Dispatch Team B.
I mean, it would make sense, just a huge hunk of metal. And metal is typically denser than flesh, although I don't know how dense, like, massive scales would be.
No rule to Varga B. Detachment procedure in place.
But yeah, I would think that Vargas would be a lot heavier than these kaiju. Oh.
Detaching now.
I'll need to deal with those shield bearers.
All units ready for combat. Flying types incoming.
Oh, come on!
Select your targets. Fire at will. Complete the 18.
Oh, apparently they're releasing some, like, new Simple Gear models. Like, Good Smile, I think, is. I saw them, and I was like, oh, that is awesome. I kind of want the Maria Kadenzevna Eve one. Mainly because if I got either the Kirika Shirabe one, I would also have to get the other one. I can't really split those two apart, can I? I'd feel bad. Darn it! Yeah, after this, I probably will try Zelda 1 in Dead Space 2. I think that'd be fun. And frustrating as well. Because I'll probably mess something up. Oh. Okay. Saw something flying. Oh, it was a tadpole. I saw it had arms and legs, so... yeah, I was kind of right. And thinking it was humanoid. I mean, that's what this game says it is, anyway. I wonder... they're called, like, act mode. I think they're ones you, actually kind of build yourself from... I think there's, like, a kit. It's like a gunpla, basically. At least from what I could tell. Because I saw one of, Maple from that VR MMO anime manga, which I have read, and it's pretty adorable.
Varga team has taken heavy casualties. The situation is worse than we expected.
Yeah, and there was a lot of things on runners, like on a sprue.
223 type base Mark 1.
223?
I don't care. Just hurry up.
Oh.
But the pilot.
Storm 1. Varga, ready to deploy. Board now.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I can win this. Depends on how many, Vargas are left, actually. That one's smoking. There's like 10 Arculuses left. Oops. Hopefully, a lot of damage would have been dealt to him already.
Storm 1, board the Varga.
Ow. Oh, they don't want me to, so I'll try even harder to board it. A lot of times when I do this... oh, they already knocked it down. And wait, how's it already getting back up on its own? Huh. Oh, hello. Might as well focus on this one then. Gosh, I'm so slow. Yeah, doing those combos is practically necessary. Because, look, I knocked him down in one combo. Although, yeah, he probably did already have a lot of health loss. Oh. Come on, come on, come on! Yeah! I got this guy on lockdown practically. Oh, dang it. Come on, come on. Ah, you jerk! I feel like the Dark Souls boss now. Nice. Yeah, this is awkward. I am so far away from everyone else. It's gonna take me like 8 hours to get back. I probably should focus more on getting rid of the small guys, so the Barga teams can survive. If you do well enough, the Bargas can just finish the game for you. Finish the stage for you, I mean, I once had like 5 of my own Bargas chasing one Arculus. It was funny. Took a while, but at least that meant I could run around and gather all the loot. Wow. Yeah, this is gonna be a while. I wonder if I could get in trouble with copyright for Katamari. Probably. And the music is really good in that game. Excuse me. Honestly, if it wasn't for, like, copyright stuff, I would play, like, Metal Gear Rising on stream. Because music is a huge part of that game. Which is why I kind of don't want to just mute the music and play it that way. Because I feel like it would take away a lot of the experience. Yay. Oh boy. This is gonna hurt. 1v3. Well, hopefully they'll be weakened a bit. Haha! Hit one hard. Punchy, punchy. Or smack. Come on, combo, combo. Oh, that was great. I might actually be able to do this. Oh, hello there. Ow. Yeah, I don't think they lost a lot of health. Oh boy. Ah, dang, I fell. Yeah, it takes a bit of time to get back up. Because, well, I'm a giant crane. What about a crane thing? Ah, dang it. Oh, no, this is fine. Come on, come on. Haha, one left. You and me. Mono a mono. Or Kaiju a giant robot. And he honestly should be about dead anyway. Because I have dealt some damage to him. Ah, darn it. Oh, we both missed. Come on, finish him. Now, one of the best lines in 4.1, where when you first get Walking Fortress Belong to use against Urginus, like the operator, ah, sweet. Whee!
Yes, sir!
Okay. It was like, use your arms to accelerate the mass to strike Urginus, and then like the commander was like, Just punch him in the face. It's freaking amazing. Pretty big missile. Splash grenade, high cycle reverser. And then just other classes. Crumbling City. Okay, this is the one with all the green ants. Excuse me. This should be fine. Yeah, this is also kind of a good one to farm on Inferno, if you have good enough crowd control, that is.
No sign of hostiles. Don't see any civilians either.
It's dead silent. What is going on? Look at that building!
Yep.
What's going on? The monsters are here! And they're fast!
They're here. Fire.
Ow.
They are like a mutated form of aggressive alien species Alpha.
Yeah, they're green ants are small. Yeah, and really fast. Typically, yeah, a shotgun is enough to get rid of them.
Yes, sir!
Please, leave it to me next.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. At least I get to fully utilize all 30 missiles. But yeah, the shotgun is great at dealing with this. Oops.
All yours, Captain.
Yeah, the reason why I have to re-recruit all of them is because, well, I accidentally shot the commander. And whenever the commander dies, you have to re-recruit everyone else that they were in command of. I think that is kind of annoying, but it is what it is.
Those mutants seem to feed on concrete and plastic in order to breed.
What? You mean they multiply by eating flats and houses?
Yes.
That's correct. If we don't do something, every single building will be gone.
Wow.
The entire city is their food source.
Yes, it is. Yeah, they're trying to get rid of every creation of humanity.
Something's wrong with it! Looks like our job's still have work to do.
Sensors responding.
Looks like the fight will be violent. I'm counting on you, partner.
The monsters are eating the.
Good thing I was aiming up. I could have hit that guy.
Attack those monsters. Let none of them escape.
I think they're mainly like reskinned red ants, because they don't spit acid. I don't think they just charge. And even then, I don't think they grab you. I think they just kind of launch you if they ran into you. Yeah, I can't see. All I know is that I must rip and tear until it is done. Doom is great. Nope, sorry. Oops. I have wing divers are here.
Detect the enemies.
Yeah, they got lasers. Yeah.
Building over there. Yes, sir. I'm the take down the. Remember what I told you yesterday?
You don't have to tell me.
The enemy. If we don't eradicate them all, we'll lose the whole city. Now pick up our weapons. Off we go.
Yeah, that's a lot of them. Oh boy. Yeah, if I didn't have the shotgun, it would take a little longer to get multiples of them.
The fact that they are sending those monsters can only mean one thing. They've reached the final stage of their invasion.
Yes, they have, actually.
Their plan of wiping out the entire human race is proceeding as planned.
Yeah.
To eradicate all artificial creations associated with us?
Yep.
They are leaving
That's actually what I said
no
earlier.
traces behind. They will destroy the human civilization and create a world without us.
The enemy is close.
According to their plan, the environment won't be harmed. It's
Yep.
just us humans who will be eradicated.
Did I only get one weapon drop?
Yes, sir.
Oh, no, I got multiple. Guess I really wasn't paying attention. Either way, okay, force entry. What should I use? Probably just the emerald. That should work. Hang on. Sorry, I'm adjusting my seating. It's really hard for me to get a comfortable seat, honestly.
Anchors are being protected by shield bearers. Normal attacks won't be of any use. Charge forward! It's now or never! Grim Reaper, rush them down! Breach the light barrier! Fear not! We have the Grim Reaper team as our backup!
They're flying monsters.
Isn't Grim Reapers like either Storm 3 or 4? I know I'm Storm 1, Sergeant is Storm 2. Can't remember which brigands and the Grim Reapers are. But I know they're under the Storm designation. Oh, weapon drop over there.
Damn it! Can't believe they got the better of us.
That's the Crimson map.
Got it! I'll swap my mag and shoot them once they're in range.
But yeah, as you can tell, this stage, even though it's on the exact same map, it has definitely a different feel compared to Crimson.
Enemy spotted. Less.
You know, there's a meme I really like. It's like playing Bad Apple at everything. Bad Apple is like a video based in Toho, where it's like all black and white. It has silhouettes of the characters, and it's really, really well animated. Actually, it's all 3D models too. I just wish like whoever made it would release those 3D models because they were really well done. But yeah, like the meme is like playing it on everything. Like I actually saw one, like sometimes they either just have the visuals, other times they have the visuals and audio playing from the device. Like one of them was they had to play on like an Atari computer. And it was really cool, I liked it a lot. Okay, this guy is gonna be a little rough. Now he is not. There we go. That was like 4 shots? That sounds about right.
Great. Have you destroyed the shield bearers?
Yes. There's a little more needed to destroy. That meme is actually in a similar vein to playing Doom on everything. Basically, it's a Toho version of Can It Run Doom. And I really like that. I find it kind of hilarious. Actually, wasn't there a guy who got doomed to run on a pregnancy test or something? I know people have done it with graphic calculators, but there are some really weird things people have played Doom on, or got doomed to run on, that is. But yeah, speaking of playing on anything, the keyboard I have has a little OLED display where you can just put a GIF in, and it's only in black and white, of course. And at first I just put in, like, something to say a little GIF, and then I realized, wait a minute, if I can find a full GIF of Bad Apple, could I compress it so it would play on my keyboard? It took a couple hours of messing with a GIF, but I was finally able to get it on the keyboard. Some parts do kind of, like, flash, because it's kind of expecting a higher frame rate. For the animation, I mean. But I have to have it at lower frames for it to even play. That's just the nature of the software, I guess. But yeah, I got it on there. And so it's constantly playing Bad Apple on my keyboard. I mean, it's better that I have it constantly playing, because if I leave it on one image for too long, OLEDs can burn in, actually. One interesting display technology is e-ink, actually. What it is, well, there's like charged particles of ink in like a little capsule, I guess you could call it. And with a certain electrical charge, the ink can go forward or backwards. And with that, it causes it to look like ink on a page. Yeah, the Kindle is like probably the best example I can think of. And people are working on like actual monitors that use it. And e-ink actually is kind of something that can burn in a way, because, well, it's charged particles, and if you keep, like, putting charge to it, it'll, like, change over time, of course. And that is kind of partly why, when you, like, turn a page on a Kindle, it'll, like, flash the opposite color before changing. It does that to help increase the lifespan of the e-ink. But yeah, someday, hey, maybe we'll get like affordable e-ink screens. And like the main reason is e-ink is very easy to look at. It's not really straining on the eyes. And I just find that pretty interesting. Kind of crazy what humans will come up with. I mean, I'm talking to you over a bunch of electrical signals, basically. It's like unfathomable, like way back when. Like, you're telling me a copper wire can carry moving images over long distances. Like, what? And even over the air. It's really weird to think about, honestly. Oh, that was enough, okay.
Destruction confirmed.
Oh, they're green ones. Why are they here? Their food sources are kind of far away. I guess there would there'd be some like small houses on these outskirts, but yeah, like over there, that's wood though. Although, and that's like a bus stop. But yeah, there's not a lot of food for the green ones. But this game isn't like Dark Souls where they take great care of lore of where they place enemies as well as balance.
Let the wing divers take the lead.
Diver 1, attack! Diver 2, attack! Diver 3, attack!
Wing divers, scatter the enemy.
Yeah, Dark Souls does that a lot. They're like, oh, you found this armor in this location? Oh, hey, maybe
Wing divers have been dispatched. Meet up.
the person who owned this armor is related to this location in some way. Or, oh, this weird enemy appeared? Could be something special about it then. I know that there is some crabs in Elden Ring with like
Confirmed. Green mutant.
what was it? It was the god assassinated in the before the game started. It had like marks of that slain god on their backs, and they're eating at something on the ground. And if you look at the map, right below them is actually where the body of that slain god is. Oh, darn it.
Target destroyed.
Hell yeah. Oh. Like, I find that pretty interesting how there's just kind of crazy attention to detail with, like, locations of things placed. It's kind of neat, in a way. And it really does show how much thought goes into each location. Except Dark Souls 2. We don't really talk about Dark Souls 2. Oh boy. But yeah, I myself have only really played Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring. And I love both of them, but I think I tried Dark Souls 1, and I don't know, I just found it too clunky for my taste. I know 3 and Elden Ring are a lot more polished in that regard.
Listen to me. I'm looking for God.
Oh?
What are you talking about?
According to Indian mythology, egg-shaped ships descended from the skies, and out from within came God.
Oh?
God came from egg-shaped ships.
And?
The god that arrived on Earth in an egg-like ship might be an alien. For all I know, he might be a king or a queen. If we can defeat him...
You should keep your opinions to yourself.
Oh.
The same motif has occurred everywhere around the world. An outer space egg came from the sky, and the god who exited the egg created the human civilization.
We are soldiers. We fight in the real world, not in an imaginary one. Don't forget that there are still men and women out there who rely on us.
I know! But I want to believe. I want to believe in something. The war is doomed, but if we can destroy the egg-shaped ships, humanity will stand a chance.
I understand. Right now, we all could use some hope.
Yeah. I won't be able to make it. Oh well. I got plenty of loot anyway. That's a lie. I need never enough loot. S++, nice. That must be like pinpoint accurate then. Tornado. Okay, monsters, so... Wow, that's a big boy. And, wow, look at that screen. Wow. Oh, that reminds me. I remember there's a glitch in Modern Warfare 2 with the javelin. Yeah, there's a way to like fire the javelin and have it hit the ground. And with that causing a huge explosion that kills like anyone that can hear you sneeze, basically. Yeah, I never did the glitch myself. I never really learned how to do it.
Advance! Yes, sir!
But yeah, that...
The alien that is leading the monsters.
Huh.
The enemy's on the other
I wonder if the blast radius was so big for... to prevent glitches
occupied the mountain.
of where if you do lock on and it shows it hitting and it not dealing damage. Because the javelin you can only lock on to like the aerial vehicles with that in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I wonder if the blast radius is just that big for that reason. Because it was really big. But then, like the normal RPG was pretty fine with hitting like those vehicles in the sky. You just had to be really good at aiming. And with the javelin locking on, huh. You know, once a dev realizes or notices or learns of that glitch, you think they would like temporarily reduce the blast radius to fix it? Because, yeah, I guess it is easy for me to say, but yeah, I think. Excuse me.
The winged aliens are invading the mountain.
Yeah, I think it would just be easier to temporarily reduce the blast radius until you can fix the underlying glitch. Because I think that would be a lot easier to change than outright fixing it. But I'm not a game dev. I know a lot of times when it comes to bugs not getting fixed, a lot of times the devs know of it. They don't have a lot of time to do it. They're focusing on other things. That's typically how it is, I think. Yeah, some glitches can be really fun, but some others can be annoying as hell. Like, an example of an annoying glitch is trying to get that frickin' find all the T-sets in these 4 missions in Payday 2, which I did multiple times, but the achievement is not unlocking. That's annoying as hell. But an example of a fun achievement is if you like reload a revolver and then do a certain type of pause and fall into Vegas, you can launch yourself. And it's kind of amazing. I can't remember how exactly it was performed, but I do know it has to do with loading single-shot weapons. And yeah, you can launch yourself. But yeah, Bethesda games are typically full of both good and bad bugs.
It's too dangerous. You still want to fight? Sure.
Actually, a lot of times bugs do kind of become part of gameplay mechanics. Like rocket jumping, actually. It was unintended, and well, later on they just kind of made it part of how you get some secrets in games. And it became synonymous with like Source games where you can do that, like, well, mainly to Team Fortress 2, but it became synonymous with a lot of the like 2000 shooters. Late 90s, 2000s, that kind of stuff.
Winged alien spotted.
Oh, hello.
Look at the sky. It's winged aliens. Into the range. Come on.
You know, they say, oh, it'll be referred to as blank from now on. But they don't really refer to them as such anymore.
To our Air Force.
They're like, okay, they're tadpoles. I wish they would just say, oh, tadpoles on the way. So I would actually freaking know. It's a little frustrating. A lot of them, they just give like, oh, weird names, but they don't really use them in strategic ways. Oh, that's a lot of purple. Yeah, that damage fall off is painful. So is landing on my head, but that one doesn't do. Neither of them really do any damage to me, so it's more of a whichever one is more inconvenient, I guess. Let's. Oh boy! I didn't realize I got that close. I'm glad we're not seeing any purple tadpoles. Those are really rough to deal with. Mainly because they take like 3 frickin' shells. Oh, okay. Excuse me. Okay, launch me right towards you. Oh. There's a lot of cartoons I remember watching, but I remember like practically nothing of them. Like Cow and Chicken. Mainly what I remember is the intro. Dad was proud, he didn't care how. Like, okay. I also remember Rocco's Modern Life. But I remember a little bit about that. They're like, the nudists. And I remember there was like a I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay reference, I believe, at one point. I remember the vet had like a claw for her hand or something.
Exoskeletons can carry this heavy weapon.
Yeah, I don't remember much of that show. I don't think I watched it a lot. Yeah, I remember how with SpongeBob they would like never air I Was a Teenage Gary. I like almost never saw it. I mean, I can see why they wouldn't air that one a lot. But still, it's just kind of bizarre. Oh, yeah, and in the Just One Bite episode, I actually do remember seeing the part where Squidward, when he snuck in that deleted scene, I actually do remember watching that on TV at one point. I don't know if it was through like a DVD release or outright watching it when it came out. I really don't know. But I did watch it on a TV. Not like on the internet. Like, I just can't remember.
It's hard to control a powered exoskeleton.
Oh, just that. Oh, there's a lot of them over there. Also, I do know they actually referenced Red Mist in the more recent episode Squidward and Random Land. I'm not gonna say its other title because I don't know. I might get in trouble for that word. I don't know. It's one of those lost episode creepypastas that's really famous. Yeah, I can't believe they kind of got away with that on the initial airing. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I didn't watch it live. I only watched it. I only watched that on a clip online. Because I think in subsequent airings they stopped doing that. And instead replaced it with a baby with Squidward's head on it. Either way, SpongeBob is something special. It really is. Yeah. Yeah, if you ever want to have a good time, the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob it's pretty consistently good. I know a lot of times shows don't really have that solid of a first season because they're kind of getting the bearings, but SpongeBob really did start out strong. And yeah, I think it was post-movie that it just kind of started to dip a little bit. And movie was post-season 3, I believe. And yeah, the movie is great.
Large-winged alien army.
Fencers are the strongest soldiers.
It's also written in the books.
It's in the books that the Fencers are the strongest soldiers? Interesting. Well, let's get rid of these guys over here because they've just been chilling. One thing I remember from Fairly Odd Parents is, what was it? No, Dark Side of... No, not like... Dark Side of Smooth, that's it. It's like a weird Pink Floyd reference. It was that episode with Norm the Genie. I remember that. Yeah. And yeah, I think that episode was like my first encounter with the trope that genies are kind of jerks sometimes. In some fiction, yeah. But they're... Because before then, all I knew of them was, oh yeah, they give 3 wishes.
If we could just find the egg-shaped ship.
Here we go again.
Yeah, she's really desperate.
The egg-shaped ship is a shared motif in all mythologies. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Oh boy.
The egg-shaped spaceship that carried God must exist.
Mythology or not, there's a chance that the enemy has a central command ship.
Yeah.
If we destroy it, we might take down their entire fleet. If such a command ship actually exists, that is.
Makes sense. Yeah, he just brought a little bit of logic to that, but yeah, there is a bit of logic to that as well. Like every single mythology around the world had that in this game, so yeah. There's a point where coincidences turn into patterns. And yeah, we're almost finished with this mission. There we go. Yep, told you. Got a solid amount of loot that time. Not bad. Dance! Oh. Oh, that reload time though. That's very handy. Nothing else seems to be very... Okay, let's see. Teleportation ships appeared all over the world. Is this one where there's a circle of teleportation ships? Because that is a very common stage in these games. Oops. Here. Might as well equip... How does the T2 stork compare to the LS? The 8 to 29, 1.5, 265. Yeah, it'd probably be best to just use the LS right now. The T2 stork is not leveled up enough. And for weapon number 2... Excuse me. 100 damage. That's 750 DPS. Why not? I mean, I can aim with it pretty good, and it has very high accuracy, so I'll take it.
We're surrounded by the enemy.
Okay, I was right, it is.
Just a tiny mistake.
Yeah, I'll need to focus on the, yeah, I'll need to focus on the ships.
Do you read me? Why is there no response?
Strategic Command HQ. was attacked by the enemy.
Oh.
I will support you.
Requesting backup. We are
All backup has been eliminated.
Oh.
Even the base.
Damn it.
Yeah, we're basically just a few survivors, basically. It's very dire at this point.
Shot it dead. This area is already lost. If enemy attack shows no sign of slowing down, if we accuse, they will go after the remaining humans. We can't let that happen.
No, we cannot.
Aliens are being dropped.
One thing I really appreciate with this game is the sounds kind of get muted a little bit when, like, a story NPC is talking. I kind of like that. So you can,
But guess what? We're not going to retreat. It's too far.
so you can hear what they're actually saying in the midst of a bunch of chaos. I like that. It's pretty cute. I mean, not cute. It's clever.
We cannot win this fight. Let's take out as many of those bastards as we can.
Hell yeah.
I can't believe you shot down a teleportation ship.
Yeah. I'm Storm 1. As long as I have enough ammo, I can deal with anything. And considering I have infinite ammo.
A teleportation ship was shot down.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Me as a round. The battle will soon begin.
I'm still alive, so I can do it. Yeah, it might take another 2 hours to beat this game. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe. Depends on the length of the other missions. Oh, hello. It shouldn't be too bad. I mean, this game is freaking fantastic. And wow, look at that. Weird texture. Kind of looks like it got glassed.
Aliens have been deployed.
Which glassing is a, I remember that's like a tactic in Halo for the Covenant, isn't it? Or something. Or they just outright destroy a planet. Something like that. I know there is a concept like that in Warhammer, Exterminatus, I believe. I don't know much about Warhammer. The most I know about Warhammer is the orcs are there to have a good time. And I appreciate that. Oh, hello. I should probably, keep on checking above me. Well, these aliens are a bit of a pussy matter. There we go. Oh, there's a laser one. At least I know I'm aiming at something with the laser sight because my crosshair will turn red. You know, I should probably rewatch a playthrough of Harvester at some point. It is kind of an interesting game. It's really dark and gross and disturbing, but something about it is just interesting. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I'm getting absolutely pelted with ammo. I'm fine though. Plenty of loot drops around to refill my health. Come on. Wait, I say replenish my ammo? I can't remember if I did or not. And I forgot to destroy that one. I have enough range for it, so it doesn't matter. Just take a little more hits. Did it fall off?
Shot down.
In a blaze of glory. Wait, what? Who did that song? Ah, Bon Jovi. Yeah, I remember hearing that song in AMVL. Yeah, the anime Rosario to a Vampire was playing in the background. Yeah. I mean, I read the manga for Rosario to Vampire. The manga is actually pretty good. It's just that the anime went in a completely different direction. It really did. Actually, let me check. Anime filler. Okay, website Rosario to Vampire. Wow, like half the freaking anime is filler. I wonder. Yeah, like half of it is filler, which means yeah, it's not canon to the manga. You'll be fine. Just keep shooting. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Oh. Huh.
I can't die.
They're like Armstrong's pose. I'll leave him alive for a little bit.
I've been shot. Dodge. I've been hit.
Yeah, one thing about a lot of anime back then
Shoot the monster in range.
Okay, ready weapon.
was the anime was being created while the manga was as well, so filler had to be made
It is injured.
because the manga wasn't being made fast enough
Are you shot?
for anime to have like a weekly release schedule while also
Don't let it get to you. All ready to fire.
having the complete story, or being only an adaptation of the manga. These days, it's typically like, oh yeah, the manga got popular, it's very far in. Okay, let's make an anime. That's typically what happens these days. They're like, oh yeah, let's do like 13 or 26 episodes or 12 and 24. It just depends. Yeah, a lot of anime I see coming out these days, I was like, oh yeah, I've heard of that manga. It's getting an anime now? Huh. Okay. But yeah, that's basically what happens there. Sometimes filler can be good, but I can't really think of an example right now. Yeah, I don't really watch anime that has like filler. I guess the original Fullmetal Alchemist would count as still being good even though it's filler. Like near the end, I mean. Yeah. It would be neat if more anime kind of got the Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood treatment. But then again, not every anime is Fullmetal Alchemist. Fantastic anime. Like, I tend to stay away from mainstream stuff, but sometimes they have a point. Sometimes they have a point with the mainstream stuff. And Fullmetal Alchemist is legit great. Yeah, that's enough loot.
Hold your fire until they get in range.
Show it to them once they're in range.
Excuse me. The reason I shot that fence is because when you dodge roll to break things, that has to be near the beginning of the roll.
Enemy has been eliminated. Thank you.
Hey, no problem.
That's the truth.
Kind of like the iframes in Dark Souls, where it's only at the first part. Hey. Ooh, new Hornet. Stork damage increase. The Slugger. Oh, that's an assault rifle? I was thinking it was like a shotgun that shot slugs. I don't know. Yeah, that damage is significant. Accuracy leaves a little bit to be desired. A little bit of increase in damage. It's like about a 50 damage increase, which is pretty solid, but... Goliath D2 reload time by 0.3. Hornet. Pretty solid ones. Monster Banquet. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of monsters. Might as well bring something that can fire at many times at once.
This is Scout. Aliens have brought gigantic monsters with them. This might be a whole legion. Advance! Slay those monsters!
Okay.
Retreat! Retreat!
Nah, I'm here. You don't have to retreat.
We'll join the fight.
Oh, okay. Retreat. Made up my mind. We'll join the fight. Okay. Guess they saw me and was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm fine. I'll be fine. Vaguely. Oh, you didn't bring a shotgun or rocket launcher. Yeah, I'll be even more fine. Yeah. I tend to do a lot of team damage with those weapons. Wow, already cleared this little group out. I saw a friend of mine play Ready or Not, and it looks like a fun game to just watch, honestly. And it would be funny to watch also the player outright be destroyed in the game. Yeah, some games are great to watch, not so much to play, and vice versa. A friend of mine tells me this game is not the best to watch, but boy howdy, is it really fun to play. Because it is legitimately a great game. Oh, wow. Come on, aim. A little too far away. Dang, this is awkward. See if I can help them to hurt a little bit. And, wow, they need help for what? Are you kidding me? Urginus? Oh, wow. This is rough. And a purple one. Yeah, all my allies are dead. That did not last long. Ow. This is gonna suck. I got so lucky the splash damage didn't hit me, and hello. Ah, just go right in the middle and you won't hurt you. Oh, great, that tank is upside down. Can't use it. Oh boy. Well, if you want to take down the forest, you have to do it one tree at a time. Or, depends if you have a rocket launcher or not. Look, don't do that. Legit, don't do that. That is very irresponsible. I went from analogy to like, well, I guess what would be analogous to a rocket launcher with taking down a forest would be, is there machinery that can take down multiple trees at a time? I don't know. I don't know much about the lumber industry. Well, whatever it is, it'd be analogous to a rocket launcher when destroying giant insects, I guess. It's a rain of blood. Ow. Oh, I just remembered. Death claws. Oh. Yep. About to be put to death by those claws, too. But yeah, death claws. They ignore damage resistance and threshold in New Vegas. Or maybe just threshold. Damage resistance is less of a thing in New Vegas. And of course, death claws just ignore it. They don't give a crap. They'll smack you upside the head. That's why you don't go north from Good Springs. Oh, that was just the arm shot off. There we go. Yeah, wasn't the Enclave in Broken Steel trying to, like, mind control him? I know in the lore that Death Claws were, like, made as weapons of war. Oh! Huh. Hello. Oh! That worked. Oh, nice! Yeah, you can see which one I used. Okay, so the railgun penetrates. Oh, I'm surprised that one hit. Nice. The wings are hitbox too, so that's good. What? Pretty difficult to hit then. Because, well, they are constantly moving and they're really thin. Wow, this railgun does not seem to do a lot of damage. Whatever. What the heck? Fencers? Nice. I don't know if headshots do more damage, but hey, it's kind of fun. I wonder how good the multi-lock-on device would do against that guy. Oh, what the heck? It was like one bullet away from dying? Huh. Yeah, either way, that railgun does not seem to do, excuse me, a good amount of damage. Is it running away, or is it just, excuse me, did it just decide to destroy more buildings? Oh boy. What the heck? How'd that not hurt me? Oh, it's dead. Sweet.
This is Strategic Command HQ. Are there any survivors out there?
EDF!
There we go.
We will be running our operation from underground. It is not the time for despair yet. We will keep on the fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still here. I still have ammo. Still have health. I can do it. Yeah, I got rid of the main threat of this place, so the rest were just mopping up. Why is it attacking that? Huh. Interesting. They know enough to destroy vehicles, but maybe that's only after you went in them. Huh. I don't know.
Report that we've eliminated enemies around.
I don't know how the AI works in this game. Either way, the AI works enough. I don't really see much of a problem with it. With them. Yeah. Yeah, 1.5 mags at long range, where it took like 5 railgun shots, or probably even more than that, to get them low enough to kill in like a couple bullets from this rifle. Weird. Yeah, weapons, I mean, tanks you can spawn on probably are just a lot better than ones on missions. I mean, you know the stats of the ones you spawn because you equip them. Just moving around that powered suit, that's great. Speaking of, if you haven't read the manga All You Need Is Kill, you should, it's really good. Oh boy. Crap, green ants. This is awkward. But I'm doing it. I haven't built a Lego kit in years. I did get like a little like nano blocks like thing for like Neptune, Hyperdimension Neptunia, and it's really cute. I like it a lot, but the legs don't really stay on the body. So it's a little annoying, but yeah, the manufacturing probably isn't as precise as Lego's. I know Lego's manufacturing is really precise. One more. Health. Ooh, weapon. Yeah, that I do know. And also Lego can be really gosh darn expensive. I know there was a King Black Dragon from RuneScape kind of Lego kit. And it was like a very exclusive type thing. Very limited edition. I wish I got one, but oh well. Actually, if you look on the RuneScape wiki, you can find it, and you can find the instruction booklet on how to build it, and a list of each part, and their Lego equivalent. So if you want it, you can just get each of the parts and build it yourself. Never seen that movie. Monster army attacking the city. What was this one? There we go. Why not? Nose is getting stuffed up a little. Probably allergies again. Allergies suck.
About Storm 4!
Hurry! Rescue Storm 4!
Our mission is to rescue Storm 4.
Okay.
Inside enemy lines. Be prepared.
Okay, Storm 4 is the Spriggans.
This is Storm 4. We're engaging the monsters.
Rescue team is on its way. Hang in there. On the double. Get Storm 4 out of there.
This is Storm 4. Call back the rescue team. We
What?
don't need it.
What?
What?
We're surrounded by monsters. We don't need rescue anymore. Save the resources.
Yeah, they all went to one.
I repeat, call back the rescue team.
No!
It's flying time monsters.
It'd probably be best to get the one that doesn't multi-lock on then. Oh, no. Here we go. Because there seems to be a lot of bees in this mission. Anything I need single target damage on, I have the rifle for anyway. Yeah, always be willing to change up weapons.
Hurry! Rescue Storm 4!
It's very important
This
to
is
do
Storm
that.
4. We're engaging the monsters.
Rescue team is on its way. Hang in there.
Our mission is to rescue Storm 4.
We're deep inside enemy lines. Be prepared.
On the double. Get Storm 4 out of there.
On my way.
This is Storm 4. Call back the rescue team. We don't need it.
What?
We're
Oh,
surrounded by monsters.
it's a
We don't need
freaking
rescue
pole.
anymore. Save the
Wow.
resources. I repeat, call back the rescue team.
Nah.
Flying time monsters.
Right side, they're coming from the right!
I mean, all it'll take is just a few missiles.
Monsters everywhere! Everybody
Wow.
reporting the rescue team will be wiped out! Finish that! Arm shot!
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, when like NPCs are saying like unique dialogue, they'll kind of lower the volume of game audio. I really like that. I really do. They don't outright turn it off, because that would just kind of be annoying, because audio cues and such. But they do like lower it down a little bit so you can hear them talk. I like that. I really like that. It's those little clever touches that can really make you appreciate a game.
Good job. I'll leave the left to you. I'll take care of it. I'll protect you.
The enemy's here!
Kind of like when in a first-person shooter, when if they're loading a pump-action shotgun, they load the chamber first before loading up the magazine. It's that extra attention to detail.
Termination complete.
I can fight. You can trust me. The monsters are here! I'll shoot you, Captain.
I'm the ultimate soldier. Stay alive. Sound good. I'm the ultimate soldier.
Okay, we heard you.
It's winged aliens. Right turn. Lock the magazine. I've been shot.
Yeah, honestly, if I were to change the multi-lock-on device, I would make it so that... Sorry, let me try to put this into good words. I would make it so that, once it locks onto an enemy, it goes to the next one until it has no other enemies to lock on. And then it just kind of prioritizes higher health enemies. Or it just does that repeatedly. It's like one for each, and then it runs out. It goes 2 for each, then 3, etc. Probably a bit of a clunky explanation, but you might know what I mean. That's what I would appreciate with the multi-lock-on device.
Everyone stay alert. Everyone stay alert.
It would still allow you to like get all 30 onto like an Urginus,
The ultimate soldier.
but also allow you to get
Please leave it to me next time.
30 out on 30 enemies.
Stay sharp. I'm the ultimate soldier.
It'd be a very neat change, honestly. Because as it is, once it locks onto an enemy, it will continue locking onto that enemy until it can't anymore, which I find kind of annoying. That's why when I had the multi-locking device, I was just kind of like doing that a lot. And yeah, my frame rate is, yeah, it's in the gutter.
Can't find the egg-shaped ship. Can't find it.
Even if we found it, there would be nothing we could do about it. We can't even destroy a mothership, let alone their command ship.
Well, I mean, it's worth a shot.
They're out of range. Let's get closer.
Please let me get that weapon. Oh, okay, there's more, so I can get those weapons.
We're almost out of weekend soon. Check out this.
Okay, bees and I can see the bees, but I can't see what's over there. Oh, tadpoles. Oh, all that's left is the commander. Oops.
Sorry for getting you all into this.
Not close enough. Let's wait for the enemy to get in range.
I probably should have recruited them sooner. Oops. Yeah, this is very much a missile launcher mission. Doesn't seem to be a lot of single target damage needed.
This is Storm 3. We're here to rescue the damsels in distress.
Ooh. We saw 3 here too. Nice. Yeah, it ain't EDF if there's no loss of frame rate. But yeah, we're definitely going to be able to beat the final boss tonight. Because we are getting really close. This is great. Oh boy. Okay, so now to mop up a little bit.
Take aim at the Don't ever expect us to surrender.
Hopefully I'll get a good upgrade for a sniper rifle by the last stage. Second to last stage, I mean. The last stage, just this assault rifle will do. This assault rifle I'm using will work fine. But right before, I will need a sniper. Maybe the Lysander I have will work, but I don't know. You'll understand why I'm so...
This is Storm 2. Heading out to rescue Storm 4.
Oh, hey, Sarge. We haven't heard him in a while. Yeah, the reason I'm so, like, I'm putting such importance on the sniper rifle, you'll see. You'll definitely see. It makes the second to last so much easier. I saw the inside of the frog there. Huh. Who knew the insides of a frog was just a mouth? You know, in school I never dissected a frog. I dissected a crawfish, but not a frog. Wait. No, I don't think I dissected a frog, but I think I saw a frog being dissected. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I saw the fat deposits. Yeah, of a frog. It was gross.
We discovered a new mothership. It's approaching this area.
It's in like a weird shape.
We've confirmed some 10 motherships.
Oh?
This is the 11th. Mothership 11.
Oh.
Can't believe they're deploying new forces at this stage.
Yeah.
Assemble a strike team right now.
Okay.
Strike my ass. Our forces.
Oh. Out of context? Oh, hang on. Nice.
Scattered across the battlefield. God knows how many of them are still alive.
Be aware that this will be our last battle. Get prepared.
Yes, ma'am. See, I'm getting some loot to get ready.
All available units, assume attack coordinates. Take down the mothership.
And that's it. What stage was that? 106? Yeah, there's still a little bit more I have to do. Volcano 12, Monsoon. Oh. Ooh, Lysander upgrade. Stork upgrade. Monsoon. Pump action shotgun. Ooh, box magazines. So I guess with it, it will come like a flood of pain. Ha ha ha. Legit though, that is a fun boss fight if you know how to block. And it was really hard to get a no-hit on. It took me hours. Increase in range for the Lysander. Ooh, and shot speed. Yeah, that'll be important, actually. Volcano, sticky grenade. Okay. What mission was that? I lost track. Oh, it was 106. Huh, I was right. We've confirmed the location of Mothership number 11. All those who can fight, head out. But our troops have been vanquished. It would be a miracle if anyone survived. This operation is doomed. I'll see about that. "12 burst? The damage is kind of bad, but it's a lot of area of effect because I think it spreads out. Actually, it's worth trying.
Are we the
Oh
only
boy.
ones?
No, it doesn't. Oh, it does spread out a bit. And wow, that is really fast burst.
Do we have what it takes, though? Ha! Look at them. We have no chance at all.
If we run, we get the same outcome. We either get hit in the face or in the back. That's the only difference.
Should I use a sniper rifle as a secondary instead? What should I use? I'll use the Hornet. It's quick enough to effectively be a rocket sniper, so I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Are we the only ones?
It's on us to take down the mothership?
Do we have what it takes, though? Look at them. We have no chance at all.
If we run, we get the same outcome. We either get hit in the face or in the back. That's the only difference.
Here, let me do my famous overextending.
I don't suppose we'll get any backup.
Only a lunatic would come out here.
What? Hey. One down. And that one's coming a little
A
closer.
unit is attacking Mothership 11.
Yep.
There are survivors?
Yes, there are. Oh,
The call ready troops and back them up.
come on, come on. Where'd he... Oh, no, what? Did I kill him? Where'd he go? Ow! I don't know what I'm hitting, but I'm hitting something. And I'll take it. As long as I'm getting damage out.
There's too many. We need more than ground units.
No, I'll be fine.
But
I
there's
think.
no one left.
Yeah, as I said, it's getting dark because we're like... There's not a lot of people waiting to fight at all.
We just need to find the egg-shaped ship. But where is it? Where is it?
Oh, that's a heavily armored one. Nope, your fight is with me. And I can sunlock you. And you give me a lot of loot. Come on.
The intelligence
Dang
division
it.
is in total chaos.
Oh, there we go.
Some have been trying to find the egg-shaped ship, despite the fact that there isn't evidence of its existence.
Despair gets the best of us.
It really does. But yeah, we are very nearing the end of the game. This is 107, so... Yeah, 108 should be... I think that one's like the Inferno mission. Or maybe this is the quote-unquote Inferno mission, I can't remember. Typically in EDF games there's a mission like outright called Inferno, and it's something like this actually. Haha, nice. I did not expect that to actually hit. "109 is number 11. That's what that one's called, actually, I think. And 110 is Nameless One. But I have a name for him. I'll tell you later. Ooh, weapon. I should probably go recruit them, honestly. But I'm doing such a fine job on my own. Nah, whatever.
Wipe them out. Launch spears.
Increase output,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Got it.
Yeah, I might need a little help.
The enemy's objective.
Storm one. You can do
I mean,
They're good.
Let's fly.
one of them was just shooting the other. I just saw that. Like the laser hit a wing diver. So yeah, I guess I probably should help. Give them some help. And what? How have they already lost health? What the heck? I don't know.
Even if one man is down, the others must take down the enemy. You hear me? Yes, sir.
That accuracy is a bit... Ow.
Prepare for battle.
Hitting some of the bees instead of the frickin' the ship. Ooh, that one actually got inside. Okay. What hornets? They're actually... I know, generally bees, like, especially like bumblebees, like honeybees or something, they're pretty cool. Wasps, they're jerks.
The attack from the sky.
There we go. But yeah, honeybees are actually very important to the ecosystem. They pollinate a lot of flowers. They give us honey. Oh, and one interesting thing about honey, it's naturally antibacterial, which is weird. There's a certain compound in it that kills bacteria. I can't remember what, but I think like millennia ago they did use honey in dressing of wounds. Yeah, they probably didn't understand exactly how it helped. They probably just noticed that it helped. Also, silver can actually kill bacteria too. Which I think that is why silverware, they use silver in for like forks and spoons and knives and such. Don't exactly remember how silver kills bacteria, but it does. Nice. Oh boy, that's fire. You. Yeah, I better get rid of that gun fast. Crap. I moved. There we go. Yeah, it's good to get rid of those flamethrower guys. They're pretty tough. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I recruited these guys now. And, okay, stun lock, stun lock, stun lock. Ah, jerk. Ooh. Frickin' shield bearer. Oh, he's peeking out. Ah, crap. Oh, I got him. I'll take it. But yeah, it is super neat to see like a sheer amount of enemies, take them out one by one and watching them thin out, you know? There's something is just deeply satisfying about EDF games. I guess it's similarly satisfying to, like playing one of those, like, working simulator games where you see, like, over time you, like, clean up the place, like with visceral cleanup detail, and it eventually just gets cleaner and cleaner. And you watch that happen. It's kind of satisfying. Excuse me. I don't know, it's kind of a similar feeling, I guess. I'm probably talking just absolute nonsense, but that's how I feel. Oh, he's walking towards me. Thank you. And because he was walking, he launched forward, dropping loot on the ground. Thank you. One thing I remember from when I was a kid, like those egg drop experiments, you had to like make a box with an egg in it and they drop it from up top of the school, and if the egg doesn't break, it's good. I actually remember one of them having an egg in like a like one of those plastic Easter eggs, and having that plastic Easter egg attached to like rubber bands all around the box. I thought that was really cool as a kid. I think the one I did was I just got a bunch of packing peanuts.
This is Gone One. Gone One. How many of you are operational? Just two. We're ready to engage.
I mean, it worked.
Two. Gone One. Good luck.
I think. I honestly can't remember if mine didn't break or not. It was so long ago. I can't even remember what grade it was. Huh. Yeah, I think it was before 3rd grade. But I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. It's a very, it's in pop culture sometimes. I know it was referenced in, Classic Family Guy. Yeah, it was, like, Peter's favorite teacher as a kid. And when he went by when he was an adult, that teacher was, like, super calmed down because he was on pills or something, and like, Peter got rid of him, and then he just kind of went and did the egg drop experiment, but using endangered bird eggs. I'm just like, okay. But Classic Family Guy, legit was funny. There are definitely parts that were really good. I haven't really seen Modern Family Guy much at all. Oh, wow, okay. They're just minigun ones, and, someone's shooting a laser at me. Oh, you. Yeah, it's not just the damage that annoys me about those guys, it's also the, obscuring my vision and the slowdown.
Multiple drones coming out of number 11. Too many drones.
Number 11 is ascending.
Oh boy, darn it. Yeah, well. Yeah, we destroyed it in 109, of course. Yeah, I think I'm handling this pretty well, honestly. A lot of loot. And, yeah, slow down from taking damage is annoying, but oh well. Yeah, those are pretty great to get headshot kills on. They drop so much, it's great. It's a lot harder too because, well, the helmets have more health, but and it's a harder target, but it's definitely worth it. And then these are probably like royal guards in a way. Huh. They're very decorated and very strong. I mean, they have like gold accents on their armor, so... Okay, time to do a little cleanup.
Number 11 is stationary at a high altitude.
Stationary?
It isn't running away.
No, it's not.
Maybe it wants to witness our demise.
Maybe. Either way, it's staying still, which means we can do something about it. Yeah, there's a character in Road Brothers, I just remembered, that traveled forward in time, actually.
We should be thanking you. Glad you could make it.
The way he described it was he got picked up by a giant silver ball and arrived here. Which actually, that makes sense. That could actually happen. Because the theory of relativity, the faster... Flounder? No. The faster you're moving, the slower time is for you, actually. How it is, the human achievable speed, it's practically negligible. The closer you get to the speed of light, you can practically travel forward through time, effectively. Which, it kind of shows that the aliens in these games have either FTL or near light speed travel. Wow. How much armor? 44. Wow. All that loot. Raven capacity for upgraded. Tier 2 Stork. Damage. Okay. Slugger. Slaughter. GA. Ooh. Load time. Okay, that one's fully upgraded. Lysander accuracy. Take it. 4 shots at once each, with a trajectory slightly different from others that will scatter and hit the targets around. Okay. Okay, 2 ranks up for the rate of fire, but nothing. Wow. Lock on time 2 seconds. That is actually a really significant boost. Thunder crossbow. Oh, okay. Then the rest is just the other classes. Let's see. 108 Scorched Earth. I'll show you Prominence, actually. Yeah, this is practically the Inferno mission, I think. I probably won't be using it a lot here, but I mainly just want to show it off on how cool it is. It is super slow, but it is great.
Enemy robot incoming! Monsters as well!
This is the end. Don't die before I do.
This is Gone 1. Initiating battle system. This is Gone 2. Reinitiating. I'll take down their missiles.
Yeah.
Drones incoming!
There it is. Oh, we couldn't see it hit. Wow. That's bullcrap. Hopefully we'll see it hit the Droid.
See you in hell.
The storm unit is under
Nice.
attack.
Yeah, let's use something else, because that's pretty... It is way too slow for this mission. Weird. Actually thinking, typically when people think of hallucinations, they think of like, oh, they're seeing things that aren't there, but there also exists, like, hallucinations for the different senses. Is the... Oh. Excuse me. Yeah. Like, there's olfactory hallucinations, which is smell. Like, I know that's a thing. Should I use the, Oh, excuse me. Radar support system? That might actually be a good idea, due to the sheer number of enemies here. It'll really help it move along, and Yeah, we're past 2 hours, 30 minutes. Wow. Time really flies when you're having fun. And when you're waiting for long loading screens, it does not fly.
Monsters as well! This is the end. Don't die before I do.
Let old bygones be bygones. See you in hell.
This is our last run.
They're everywhere I look.
The whole storm team.
There he is.
Ooh, a truck.
Initiating battle system. This is gone too. Reinitiating. I'll take down their missiles.
Drones incoming!
Yeah, something... I don't know that smell. Wow.
I'll protect you, Captain!
Yeah, I'm pumping out a lot of missiles. Yes, we are.
We have to do something about it.
This ain't good.
There's no one left to save her.
Except me. But my priorities are a bit awkward. I don't know what I'm shooting at, I'm just shooting at stuff. As long as damage is being dealt, it'll eventually go down. I kind of feel bad for that one alien there. Ooh, heavy armor cube. There we go. Yeah, if you have photosensitive epilepsy, I'm very sorry. This game is... It's honestly very hard on my eyes, and I don't have that.
It wants to destroy this area.
Yes, it does.
Don't shoot. Too far.
There, that should help a lot with the healing. Yeah, just hit every single freaking leg part. Wow. Yeah, now you can see why I got that radar support equipment. And this is really loud.
Winged aliens approaching.
Oh boy, another tanky boy. Oh, this one has the rocket launcher. Got him. Yeah, my frame rate's actually acceptable now. I can see. I can fight. Wow, that's a weird reference. Yeah, Fairly Odd Parents again. When they went back in time, or something. Medieval. And there was like a tiny King Arthur or something. I barely remember. It was based on Arthurian legend, which I don't know much about myself.
This is Brooklyn, New York.
Oh.
Joel from the Resistance speaking. We've lost every fighting man and woman in the area. There are currently 200 people hiding in secure locations, mostly elderly and children.
Oh.
We're slowly running out of water and food, but this is not a call for rescue.
Oh.
We are committed to fight till the end. We are only common civilians, but we have started our military training. We just want to let you know that we will hold our ground. Brooklyn, New York.
That really just shows how freaking stubborn humanity can be. Wow, I am leading my shots on that purple one really good. Holy crap. I am legit surprised I hit as much as I did. Oh.
Damn it! Number 11 is dropping a teleportation anchor from the sky.
Uh-oh.
It will create a huge blast when it hits the ground.
How big is it? Oh, those are big. Those are really big.
Those guys are ruthless. The ship wants us dead at all costs.
Yes, it does.
Destroy the teleportation anchor.
Oh, I was talking with a friend yesterday, and like one cool thing that could be done in this is actually fighting on inside an alien ship. That would be kind of cool. They could actually have like a derelict ship you could go through as well. It'd definitely be something possible for a sequel. Or heck, even the start of a reboot. Because they'd be like, we found a derelict ship after being shot down by the hooligan cannon. Sure, why not? Or whatever their version of the hooligan cannon will be. And like, we need you to go in there and find out whatever information you can. Things like that. But it would be a bit weird, considering most of this game is in very wide open areas. I mean, well, there are cave sections, but I don't know. There goes that truck. I think it would be interesting, but it might be a bit difficult to... I really don't know. That's something for game designers to think out. Oh. Meant to twitch aim to the other Imperial drone, but I guess I twitch aim to the pylon. I'll take it. Oh boy. Probably should have focused on the Queen Ant. There we go. Yeah, there are so many items. That was it? Okay, it must have been weakened a lot. Ah, thank you. Said good kill twice, so... Oh, 3 times! To triple good kill. I appreciate the encouragement. Oh boy. It's a queen. Come on, there we go. Oh, hello, Leroy. Wait, that one's like purple. Oh, huh. Yeah, a lot of times purple is like stronger than red in these games, but they're also really, really rare. Like, there's only very few things that are purple in these games. Yeah, I should probably get rid of that thing. I don't know if that's what's spawning the even bigger bugs. Oh, hello. Got in the way of my aiming. Oh, again! Quit doing that. Good thing I brought a rifle, not a shotgun for this. There we go. That took forever. That was like 3 mags or something. I don't know, I wasn't counting.
Good job. Attack them once they're in the range.
Yeah, there's a lot of corpses over there. Out of range. Might as well go and pick up some more loot. This might be the end of the stage. I hope it is, because I don't know. Either way, we are getting very close to the end of the game. And if you saw my last, if you watched if you watched to the end of my last stream, I said something a bit bizarre. I'll repeat it here. Pepsi Man. We're getting very close to understanding that. In fact, you saw I changed my name to Thirst Quenched. I almost changed it to Coke Downer, which is a great... Oh, goodness. It's a mod in Metal Gear Rising that changes Sundowner into Coke themed. And of course, there is a mod where you can become Pepsi Man themed. It's great.
Just a tiny mistake, you die.
Yeah, Pepsi Man started as a Japanese Pepsi commercial, didn't it? Yeah, some Japanese commercials are kind of amazing. If you've never seen it, look up Long Long Man. The entire commercial series. It is like a soap opera condensed into like 7 commercials. It is fantastic. And it's better than most soap operas out there. Although, my sample size of that is 1. And that 1 is Long Long Man, so... I shouldn't really be one to judge that harshly. Legit though, it is fantastic.
Suppress the enemy. Good kill. Keep your guard up.
Long Long Man is a 6-season soap opera condensed into around 7 minutes. Yep, it is. It really is, and it's fantastic. It was a commercial for a kind of gummy. I can't remember what it's called. Exactly. And hey Cascade, it's good to see you here. Sakeru gummy. Oh, that's right, Sakeru. Yeah, I just couldn't really remember what it was called exactly. And it has a fantastic twist. It is great. Cascade, do you know of any other, like, fantastic commercials? Okay, yeah, that was the end of the stage, and oh boy. I don't think I can get to that weapon. Come on, come on, come on! Yes! Like last frame. Wow, how much armor? 38. All that stuff. Historic reload time upgrade. None that really come to mind, at least not on the level of Long Long Man. Yeah, Long Long Man is... It's freaking S tier when it comes to commercials. Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, what increase, but no, it's the 4 to 6, so 2 extra damage. There are some... Yeah, number 11. Okay. I'll use the Lysander. Actually, I might need to deal with smaller guys, so I'll use the Lysander as a secondary. Right, I need to get rid of that radar support system. Yeah, this is the second to last mission. Oh boy. Typically, the last mission in these EDF games is like, oh, you're destroying the mothership. But nope, not this one.
There's no way back. You have to destroy the mothership.
Okay, I'm glad I got the Lysander as a secondary.
Protected by drones and teleportation ships.
We have railguns. They'll go down for sure.
They're wearing the golden armor. I don't think they'll pay us any attention. But we'll let them know that underestimating us is a deadly mistake.
Damn it. What's the... hang on. Sorry, I'm trying to get my primary right. 228. 265. Yeah, it's just better to use this one. Let's see. Although there will always be laughs when it comes to infomercials where people just outright really mess up basic things. Like there was this one where I saw a guy just hammering a cabbage into a food processor or something.
There's no way back. You have to destroy the mothership.
That was certainly a thing.
Understood.
The mothership is protected by drones and teleportation ships.
We have railguns. They'll go down for sure.
It was for some micro food processor type thing. Can't remember exactly what it's called, but I remember that it promised, like, oh yeah, it's able to cut like concrete and still be fine. Which I'm like, well, they'd be able to cut concrete, but
5 more cities have been destroyed.
oh,
All bases have been destroyed. But there is still hope. Forces in North America are still trying to take down Mothership 3.
it's one of those things. Is well, you can do it once. Oh, only 2 shots got smoking. Nice. Is that a heavy? Yes, it is.
We fight for our land, family, and friends. Unfortunately, we are losing everything we hold dear. We have all been wounded, and we're losing our courage to fight. What are we suffering for? I just need to place my hand on my chest and feel that hot and vibrant beat to know the answer. Everyone else is dead, and we are alive. We, the living, have to fight. We will fight in the name of our planet and stick it to them.
Yeah.
Teleportation ship destroyed.
Stick it to him. Yeah. Oh boy. Would you let me aim at the, what the hell? There we go. Ow.
It's gonna blow. Fall back.
Oh boy.
Teleportation ship has been destroyed.
Yeah, it's gonna get rid of those. Yeah, here we actually will need to destroy the cannon. Bit overkill, but it's funny.
The operation to take down Mothership 3, which landed in North America, has failed.
Oh.
But concentrated fire on their giant cannons seemed to have done some damage.
Oh. Yeah, we are.
The giant cannons aren't protected by the golden armor.
Aim at the mothership's giant cannon. Destroy them.
Looks like the giant cannon has been damaged.
Yes, it has.
This is working. Concentrate your fire on the cannon.
Oh boy. Yeah, I still don't really know what destroying these things do. This is like an obscure enough game where information like that is a bit... I say a bit, but really difficult to find. That's what happens with cult classics. They can be fantastic games, but when you want like very in-depth information, it's just not really there. Especially games that are much more popular in foreign markets. Either way, I'm getting rid of him. Oh. Darn it. Ow. Ah, crap. Frickin' teleporter. There, that's destroyed. Oh, hello. Yeah, you need to get away from that fast. It's a big boom. Ooh. Too out of range. Come on. One more, one more. Got it.
This teleportation ship has been destroyed.
Like, a lot of like products you get in commercials typically aren't that good, but I'm sure there are some that are actually really helpful. Actually, that blanket with arms, I can actually see that being handy. Like, people may like to meme on it, but I can actually see its purpose.
Direct hit on the giant cannon confirmed.
I know I myself have,
Mothership 1 is on the move.
when I was young, I covered myself in a blanket a lot.
Number 2 is starting to move as well. Wait, all motherships are moving. They've set course for our area.
What?
Oh. And it can be kind of awkward.
Hasn't reported anything like this. This is the first time all motherships are heading to the same location.
If all 11 motherships gang up on us, we will be vaporized in no time.
Anyone who knocks the Snuggies is a darn fool. Okay. You've actually tried them, Cascade? No, but anyone can see how they're good. Yeah, oh yeah. I think it's mainly the commercial just made them seem a bit bizarre, I guess? But yeah, I can definitely see a use for them. Especially if they're a good fabric that's nice and soft. And yeah, if I was a kid, I probably would have loved one. Because, as you can tell, I'm a pretty big gamer. And it's pretty awkward to have a blanket covering you while also playing a game.
The giant cannon is no longer operational. We did it.
Nope.
Number 11 has been heavily damaged.
Yes, it has. But we are not done.
This is wonderful news.
Trust me,
The first time
nowhere
we've
near.
damaged a mothership.
Oh, the hatches are open. Nope. Nothing. Now, that's only in Star Fox, which I believe is an Independence Day reference. Never seen it.
What the hell is going on?
Yep.
The mothership is transforming itself.
Yes, it is.
What's going on?
What? This wasn't mentioned in any of the reports.
No, it's not.
What the hell is happening?
But, yeah, I'm sure you can see now why Brother Lysander.
Those flying things have cannons. The enemy ship is preparing its cannons. What's going on? This is ground unit. We're under heavy artillery fire. This is their command ship.
Yes, it is.
Number 11 is the enemy flagship.
The other motherships want to protect it because it's their command ship.
The egg! It's the egg!
Cascade, do you know of any other infomercial items that are actually good? And yes, this is the egg-shaped ship.
The one that carries God. I finally found it.
I mean, everyone did.
Now destroy it. Hurry up.
Okay.
This ship could very well be the enemy's flagship. Destroy it.
Yes.
If we destroy the command ship, it will turn the tide. Hurry! Destroy it before they gather up.
I myself can't really think of many infomercial items that's actually good.
Number 21! We're getting wiped out!
I'm old and my brain doesn't remember infomercials. Oh, oh, that's fine. That's fine.
The command ship has
Flex
much
tape, maybe?
greater firepower
Maybe.
than
I don't know. I know there's a lot of memes around Flex tape. I don't know how good it actually is. I haven't really looked into it a lot.
Attack those cannons. The enemy ship has a lot of firepower.
I'm sure you can find plenty of reviews online on that kind of stuff.
Once we destroy that ship, all the sacrifices will be... We have to destroy it!
We're under heavy fire! I repeat, we're under heavy fire! Get cover! It's too late!
Yeah, this is absolutely gigantic. I am near the edge of the map,
It's being protected by some sort of force field!
and it goes past that.
Our attacks are useless! A shield barrier?
Yeah, I'm trying to deal with all the cannons first.
Destroy them first, and wait for the right moment. The cannons have locked onto us!
Yeah, these things you need to destroy to get past the shield. Yeah, I like to,
Destroy it now!
or I tend to just destroy the surrounding cannons. It makes it so much easier.
We're getting massacred!
Oh, yeah. Really?
But we have to find a way.
Yes, we do.
Have to. If it escapes, all our sacrifices will be for nothing. We have to destroy it here and now.
Yeah, I can definitely see why she is incredibly agitated.
Has overwhelming firepower, and 10 motherships are coming to its aid. We've tried our best.
Oh.
How could this be? How?
This is useless! Get cover!
Please, everybody! We have to destroy it now!
Taking heavy casualties!
No!
The main infomercial I remember is the big top donut, where it's like, it's just a giant cake mold.
Calm down. Analyze the images and find a weak spot.
Ah, dang it. Yeah, this is massive.
We won't stand a chance if we don't destroy that shield.
Well, I am making it a lot easier on my allies by destroying a lot of the cannons. The green ones seem to be a huge problem.
This cannon emits high energy. This could be the shield generator.
Yep.
Destroy the blue shining cannon!
Oh, wow. Okay, the sky is a lot clearer now. The reason why I'm holding off on destroying the shield is because once you destroy the shield, all these will begin to fire at you as well. It's practically a necessary tactic in harder difficulties. You'll get overwhelmed. Really bad. Okay, anything else? Okay, shield destruction time. Oh! Yeah, there are those, I guess. Oh, I just drone. Oops, sorry. She got in the way of my Lysander shot. Oops. Let's see. Oh, there it is. There we go.
The shield is gone.
Nope, that's just one of them.
Wonderful news!
The command ship is protected by a shield!
Yep, another shield. Oh, that one takes 2 shots.
Over! It's a teleportation device!
Oh, what? Yeah, the middle of the ship is a teleportation device. Yeah, that's one frustrating thing about this fight. The ranges are a bit deceptive. Just because of how freaking gigantic it is, and you never really experienced this size of enemy in the game before. It just really messes with your in-game depth perception, I would say. Because, well, it is 2D. And to determine how far away things are in games, you compare it to things you know. What's another infomercial I remember? Oh, OxyClean is a famous one. Huh.
One is still fighting!
What? Yeah, I am.
Someone go back up Storm 1. Hurry!
I mean, I have an entire team with me. They've all been doing pretty well for themselves.
Someone is taking out the cannons!
No, that one is flying away. Yeah, this is a very difficult mission, honestly. There's a lot going on. There's frogs or... Okay, just frogs. Focus on the shotgun. There we go. Ha! I'm the real Grim Reaper, nice. Oh, I missed! Dang it! Oh boy. Oh, it's a drone.
Someone is still fighting! Someone is still fighting!
Yes. Yeah, just a couple aliens, I guess. Oh, he was crouching. Couldn't really see in front of his Demon attack. And that being... Oh yeah, I'm just not gonna let you see. Which I think that laser sniper has gotten me killed multiple times.
Approaching the enemy.
Cannon destruction confirmed.
Huh.
Enemy spotted.
Is that?
Star 1!
Yep. a lot of these in-game conversations, I do kind of get goosebumps. It's very dark. And it's like, dude, Household is still fighting. It's I just kind of feel like a badass with that, honestly. Oh, there we go. Oh, hey, there's more over there. Yes, it is. And the hatch is open.
From the intelligence division to analyze the images. Confirmed hit on the command ship.
Yep.
This is great news. We hit it.
Oh boy. Those are going to be painful. I better get rid of those. 2 shots. Ooh, that's rough. There's not a lot of them because, well, smaller radius. Yeah, it'd be best for me to get rid of these. Yeah, they seem to be doing a lot of damage, and oh my gosh, that... Oh boy, that looks... that does not look good. Oops. That's the second time this mission I accidentally hit a wing diver. Well, it's not Inferno, so it's not that big of a deal, but still annoying. Because it's a slow way to fire. Wow. That is kind of beautiful in a way, honestly. Painful, but yeah. Yeah, I do know OxyClean was one of those infomercial items that really became ubiquitous. Excuse me. I mean, you can buy it in the shops anytime you want. A lot of infomercial stuff is like, oh yeah, you can only order it on phone or something. But no, like, OxyClean became like a really big thing. I know my parents use it. I don't know if it actually is good, but OxyClean and Billy Mays were so iconic that Billy Mays was buried in his signature blue shirt and khakis. Wait, really? Huh. Yeah, Billy Mays is iconic as hell. Like, he was synonymous with TV products. The other one I know is Anthony Sullivan. Does he still do them? I don't pay attention to TV anymore. That's why I don't necessarily know. And oh, there's still some cannons left.
Attack the incoming enemy.
Yeah, I'm glad I bought the Lysander with its significant range. So yeah, all the cannons should be gone. Or there might be some stragglers, but... Ah, crap, the hatch is closing. Oh, hey, that's the same type of hatch that was on the mobile base. Huh. Oh, more aliens coming in.
Confirmed. Landing ship.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Actually, on the final level, it might be the first stage I actually equip a rifle and a shotgun at the same time. Because it's a very specific type of battle. Oh.
The command ship has been moderately damaged.
Oh, it's dead. I should have realized that because it was ragdolling. But yeah, I didn't know he was buried in that outfit. That is... wow. Huh. Yeah, it was very sad. Yeah, I remember, yeah. He was... yeah, people do definitely remember Billy Mays fondly with that stuff. Yeah, when it comes to, like, names on TV, I don't really remember any, except, well, Billy Mays. He did his job very good. Oh. Wow. Oh, okay. That was almost the third time I hit a frickin' wing diver. Yeah, it's smoking. It's almost gone. I wonder how many times someone has said, "Remember what I told you yesterday" in this playthrough. Oh well. No clue. Oh, the hatches are open. Does it penetrate? No, it does not.
The command ship has been severely damaged.
Yeah, it's almost gone. Maybe I could be able to do it here before it closes? Not entirely sure. Okay, I got one extra shot off. I was afraid I wasn't able to because the drone was just right there. Oh, there we go. But yeah, tomorrow I probably will start a Zelda difficulty run because I kind of want to try it out. With my much enhanced knowledge of the game since I last played it. There we go. That did it.
The command ship has been destroyed.
Yes, it has.
This is wonderful. We did it. I can't believe we did it.
We will let the whole world know about this victory. Today, we sunk the enemy command ship.
Yep. That is a gigantic blow to their forces. It really was like a gigantic war of attrition. This music is awesome. It's legitimately something I would probably be willing to listen to on its own, actually. Huh. It's a very triumphant type of track. Huh? What?
Wait a second. What's that in the air? It looks human.
What is going on?
Oh.
How is that possible?
It looks alive.
Is that God?
Looks like Pepsi Man to me. And yeah, that's what it is. That's what my teaser was from last video. It's Pepsi Man. 36 armor and a lot of upgrades. Flounder, Grant, Hornet. Ooh, that's a good damage upgrade. 49? Holy crap. Huh. Wow. Okay, now the rest is just other classes. Actually, I kind of want to use it. And with it, the multi-lock-on device. because the main thing about this next mission is actually just single target damage. And it is the last mission. Nameless. That's what it is. That's what it's called. And yeah, here we go. Last one. That so reminds me of that gunpla I made a long time ago.
A silver giant.
What's with that giant?
It's the pilot of the command ship. Take it under arrest.
It's floating in the air. Why can't it fly?
If it resists, shoot it.
Damn.
In the mythologies, God descended from the egg-shaped ship. Is that God?
Oh, by the way, these guys all have 1 health. No?
What the hell? What is that guy doing?
Oh, huh.
Its arms are starting
Could
to
have
radiate.
sworn.
Is it armed?
It has 2 of them. Wait, can it be damaged yet? No, it can't. Okay.
Manipulating light. Flying in the sky, as was told in the legends.
Wow. Pepsi Man. Dang, he went places.
What is that?
Every alien that we've encountered was armed, except for this giant.
How did it attack us?
Can I hurt it yet?
God. That is God.
Oh.
God? That's a primer god for all I know. We don't need it.
Ha, nice. We don't need it. Ow.
Aliens are appearing out of thin air? How is that possible?
It can distort space.
Its abilities are uncanny.
Is it omnipotent?
Yeah, it's just single target damage you need to focus on. There are no, really, there's no hordes, it's just these that are guards, basically.
Anyone alive? Is anyone hearing this? Anyone?
Ow.
Is it immortal?
For an organism, the enemy has
Oh,
evolved
boy.
to a frightening stage.
An alien that can control organisms. They are being ruled by an entity that has evolved to the highest degree.
We have to find a solution. This is our final opportunity.
That looks so cool. Here, let me,
2 motherships are still
oh
on
boy.
the move.
The motherships are indeed heading to this area.
You can't dodge a lot of that.
It's only a matter of time till they get the best of us.
Okay, so I guess I am doing damage to it.
Initiate Operation Omega.
Omega.
What? Are you serious? You sure you want to do this?
What is this all about?
Please don't do this. Please.
Nice aim. Oh.
What is that? There is a
Oh boy.
halo behind that guy.
Ow. Just T-posed and
Divine halo.
hit me. That hurt.
It sure has a lot of tricks up its sleeve. It's like magic. There must be a logical explanation behind this.
Oh, by the way, you can actually destroy its limbs. It will generate it. And I've actually had him do that kick move
If we don't figure
without
out
either of its legs. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I'm dealing damage now.
It's not a weapon.
what do you mean?
Yep,
Our
see, no
scans
legs.
show no traces of metal. It's power.
No metal?
Telekinesis is the
Ow.
only reasonable explanation.
No metal.
Impossible.
Huh.
It's hard to believe, but this being is capable of creating energy at will.
Oh.
Is anybody out there? Anybody?
Kinda skipped a bit of the explanation there. Sorry.
It's all or nothing. Looks like I lost shock.
Ow. My eyes.
Hang in there, no matter what.
Oh boy. Ow. I saw that coming.
No one could have survived this.
Oh, you think so, huh?
Hey, Popeye. It's nice to have Popeye on our team.
Storm 3, attack.
Door 4, attack!
Nice.
It's over. We can't defeat this monster.
But yeah, basically this guy's called the Silver
It is the
Man.
incarnation of death. It will kill us all.
Well, that's what his name in Japanese. He's called
Powerful alien entity attacks.
it's like
The lesser organism will be extinguished.
we'll be able to see it in the stat
That's
screen.
the rule of the universe.
Oh yeah.
We have been living on Earth, isolated from the universe, knowing nothing about the powerful beings out there. What we are facing right now is the inevitable and infinite cycle of life.
The enemy commanders right before our eyes. No matter how many sacrifices we make in the future, we will never get this opportunity again.
Understood.
We've initiated Operation Omega.
Oh.
What do you mean by that?
Humanity's last stand. We've deployed everyone into the fight to stop the motherships.
Oh.
But we've already sent in everyone we've got.
Not all. We've given underground resistance the green light to attack.
What?
What? You're sending out civilians?
From now on, every human is an EDF soldier.
You want unequipped civilians to fight? Have you gone mad?
It will buy us precious time.
Everyone will die! You want to sacrifice the last remaining survivors for a bloody miracle? What's the point of saving our planet if there's no one left? Yes, sir.
This operation won't be in vain. No matter how great the cost, we must
Win. We must win.
Damn it!
Yeah. He is pissed. I can definitely see why. This is very dire situation. Oh, what's this?
The giant is radiating.
That's God's true form.
That is beautiful in
a
a way.
super being that can create infinite energy. It's a creature superior
Oh,
to
boy.
everything else.
I think you can destroy those. Yes, you can. Oh, frame rate. That's not a fair attack.
How? How can we defeat something like that? It's impossible.
Oh, what?
It's not fair.
Oh, gosh. That kind of shocked me a little bit. Oh, boy. Rail guards.
It's calling aliens.
These are heavily armed aliens. They must be his personal bodyguards.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can throw at these aliens. Is this the end?
As long as I'm alive, it's not. Ow. I actually remember one time when I was trying to farm this mission.
The point of destroying the command ship if we cannot defeat that thing.
If we let it get away, all our sacrifices will be for nothing. Please, we have to find a way.
We've got nothing left. Time to die.
What? How?
Wow.
Number of deployable units, 0. It's over. Accept this truth.
Ow.
What? In God's name? We have a survivor!
Remove spare safety devices. Not even Storm 1 can do anything about that monster.
The reason I'm not shooting is so you can hear the full conversation.
We should put our faith in Storm 1 and pray.
Yeah. Because if you deal too much damage, you'll just skip conversations.
Storm 1, humanity's fate lies on your shoulders.
Yes, sir.
You're not Storm 1, I am. Just an NPC saying yes sir right after that. Oh, that timing. Oh yeah, one time while farming this stage, I got hit by a meteor and got launched to legitimately the other side of the map. And it's a big map. I think another time I got hit by a meteorite and went right through the floor. It was kind of frustrating, but also kind of hilarious. Oh, there we go. That is so cool to watch. And yes, you can cut off its arms too.
Look at that combat strength.
Talking about me or the silver guy? Or Pepsi Man? Oh. Excuse me, I almost turned him into the Black Knight. Come on. Ah, darn it, he regenerated his leg before I could do it. 'Tis but a scratch. Oh, okay. I was about to say, scratch your arms off, but no, he ripped his arm.
It's working! God is starting to slow down!
Go for it! Storm 1!
Storm 1! Let's put this tragedy to an end!
Ha ha ha! Oh. That timing was brilliant. And yeah, loot explosion. And we won! That's EDF 5. All in all, it is a fantastic game. It's probably the best in the series so far. And I am very excited to see what EDF 6 will bring. At that moment, the aliens knew that the Nameless has died, perished by the hands of the hero. Motionless they stood, overwhelmed with panic and grief. Then one by one, they abandoned their weapons and left. The war was finally over. The mothership retrieved the corpse and disappeared into the void. And then there was dead silence. No sound of men to be heard on Earth. The planet that was once bustling with noise is no more. Cities lay in ruins, with bodies scattering the ground. Human population has decreased to 10%. Society, as we know it, has collapsed. The system of law and order has broken down. The world has declined back to the Dark Ages. Those who survived are left in a world of death and plunder. Still, there is hope. Chaos will come to an end. Evil will not spread, and violence will not prevail. New justice shall be hailed, and order shall be returned to the people. Because we are still here. We are protectors of the people. Protectors of peace. Protectors of this planet. We are. The EDF. Yeah. That's EDF 5. Also, my timing on that, on the last beats, was perfect. I really hope the video doesn't, like, mess up with the syncing of that, because that was brilliant. Legit though, this game is really good. I think I bought it full price at like $60, and it is worth that and so much more. It is a brilliant game. There is so much content. I mean, this is the longest game I've ever streamed so far. There's like 12 parts. Was there another game that was longer than this? I can't think of one. It was long. And it is fantastic. We haven't even seen the craziest of the weapons. It gets bigger and better. Oh!
Oh, we are the valiant infantry. We are the alpha team with passion and camaraderie. Here at the top of our
Yep.
runs, be calm, be bold, and raise your guns. High up in the air, our comrades fight.
Dashing through the sky now like a million bolts of light. We shall spread our wings wide and fly high, soaring, gliding through the endless skies. Like, I love this. Oh, goodness. Yeah. How much is it right now on Steam? Okay, it's $60. There hasn't been a sale, but I mean, there's not a sale right now. And whoa, look at all that stuff we got. But yeah, that's Earth Defense Force 5. Here. Let me show you a little bit of in-game stuff. Yeah, MA10 Slade, MEX5 Emerald. Oh, goodness. Yeah, level 108. And that Hybrid Protector. Look at all those numbers. Probe type. Ah, goodness. Item acquisition. Oh, goodness. Radar support system. Lock on speed 300%. 100%. Yeah, the one I had was just 50%. Yeah, some of this stuff is just amazing. Tanks. Yeah, here are the weapons. Yeah, this is the Blazer. That is a long reload time, but its rate of fire is 60 a second. It is something else here. This was the weapon I used a lot, the Fracture. Yeah, the higher weapons you go, the different models they get. And M100 Fang. Wow, that is big. Yeah, if you can't tell, I put a lot of hours into this game. It is so good. It is so good. Wow. MS Falcon, Prominence MA. Yeah, some of these really high ones are actually DLC only weapons. The Stampede. And yeah, this Emerald. Here, let me show you the Stampede XAM. Oh yeah, I still haven't beaten the entire game on Inferno, by the way. Because this game is not kidding when it comes to Inferno difficulty. It's hard. But yeah, I'll show you a little bit of this super high-end stuff. Okay, load. Thank you. I was not expecting that. That type of spread. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. I should be a little more careful.
Sergeant, perfect timing. Please support us. There's no time to waste. We must minimize the casualties.
I'm sorry. That legit caught me by surprise.
Sergeant, move in tanks. They can block off the acid from the monsters. Once the monsters get close, move with the tanks.
Like, what's a security guard doing with this weaponry? What the heck?
All we can do is fight. Protect the civilians.
It's a freaking carpet bombing with this weapon.
Which freaking country made these weapons? How can anyone create those horrible things? I'll find out who's behind all this horrible stuff and teach the guy a lesson.
Yeah, this mission.
They were created by man.
That's interesting.
Destroy the pylons before they ruin the city. The city will be doomed if we don't destroy the pylons.
Yeah, some weapons are incredibly powerful. And yeah, because it's Inferno, of course, their damage and health has increased dramatically. Here, I'll show you how much damage a point-blank acid spray will deal to me.
Tanks, move out.
Come on.
Good.
Yeah, it's a lot. But it's not point-blank where all of them hit me. There we go.
The tanks will support the infantry.
It hurts. It really hurts.
Destroy the pylons. Attack the top part.
Here, let me show you something.
Sergeant, thank you for your support.
Is it a good idea to grenade jump with this? No, it's not.
Sergeant, the enemy is
No,
much stronger than you.
not yes. No, that's the answer.
Right now. We have our hands full with managing the situation.
Yeah, 0. Here, let me show you a little bit of the... What is my wing diver loadout anyway on this? I'll re-equip the... Why did I have this one equipped and not the Falcon? Trying to, look. Nah, well, I'll use it. But here, Wing Diver. No, not color. Ah, here we go. Change models. Follow the mission, or you can just change it to between the two. Bolt break gun? What is that one? Yeah, the different cores. It's only plasma cores, and they have a lot of different boosts, like specifically improved on its maximum energy. Its power supply efficiency to the aerial unit is low, so the flying speed is slightly reduced. Yeah. The one I have is the Mighty Core, which adds a lot of numbers. And with the Air Raider, yeah, he's an air traffic controller at the beginning. Yeah, limpet chain gun. Yeah, he can have. Yeah, he can carry 3 weapons. Yeah, I forgot about that. And a vehicle. He doesn't really get. Yeah. Here's the Barga. Armor twice as thick, making it almost impenetrable. Power output vastly exceeded the War Barga. Okay. Yeah, the durability is significantly bigger. Barga Type G. Yeah, that is 1.25 million health. For the Fencer, starts off with. Yeah, that's how he starts off with. And That's cool colors. Yeah, you can carry multiple weapons in the hand, and you can actually have 2 support equipments. Yeah, if I ever do a playthrough of the Fencer, that'll be an interesting one. And you can tell which class I play the most, based on which one has the most, the most armor on, because the armor gain is heavily weighted towards the one you're playing. I should actually show you a little bit of the... I haven't... Oh, yeah. Haven't really done Air Raider a lot. Here. Follow the mission. Yeah, it's been a while since I actually played this game, but yeah, the classes are also just radically different. And I'm giving you a little taste of it with the Air Raider. Yeah, he's generally pretty difficult to play with. Not exactly mobile, all he has is... You can't sprint, you can only dodge roll. Oops. Sorry there, Civvy.
People here are all civilians. We can't just let those...
Yeah, what I'm doing with this one is I'm... Sorry.
Please support us. There's no time to waste. We must minimize the casualties.
I see.
Here, this combat plan, you actually kind of get a bit of an aerial view.
There's no time for rest. Is anywhere safe?
And limpet chain gun.
All we can do is fight.
Yep, look at that. Look at him go. Yeah, that's what the Air Raider does. And his main direct form of damage is practically the sticky bomb from Team Fortress 2. It's awesome, I like it a lot.
This horrible stuff and teach the guy a lesson. If only they were created by man. Sergeant, move with tanks. They can block off the acid from the monsters. Once the monsters get close,
you can't like place down, reload, and place down some more. You have to set them off. So it's kind of disappointing. I wish you could just keep stacking and stacking and finally set them off then. But I understand why there are parts where you want to just get rid of them. Parts like that.
Safe here either. I promise I will take you to a safe place this time after we deal with the pylons.
we're on our way, civilian. Good. Keep it up. E202. Civilian, are you aware of the... Destroy the pylons! Attack the top part!
Yeah, there actually is like unique voice lines when you call things in as a civilian air raider. It was like, how did a civilian get a hold of this channel? Things like that. It's funny.
When will we start a counterattack?
Sergeant, the enemy is much stronger than you can imagine. The whole world is being attacked right now. We already have our hands full with managing the situation. About the military's transport.
This is the Strategic Intelligence
Oh boy.
Division. We will support you in the combat.
I love this game though. It is really, really good.
Based on the falling trajectories of the pylons, we've determined the location of the gigantic ship.
So that's the ship that deploys those pylons.
It's flying above the combat area now. It may deploy pylons.
There we go.
Please be on high alert to the sky.
Not even the EDF can withstand it. This attack is well planned.
Yeah, if you do want me to play this game or as different classes, like a playthrough of each class, I'm very willing to do it. The Air Raider one will definitely be interesting. To just how difficult Air Raider is solo. But yeah, wow, I said earlier in the stream, even if it took 4 hours, and well, yeah, I guess it did. Huh. And everyone, this was Earth Defense Force 5, the Ranger playthrough. It was a lot of fun, honestly. Yeah, you only get 4 slots. But I can delete the one I played this stream on. I don't really need it anymore. It'd be more interesting to start from scratch with the other characters. Because if I try it here, excuse me, I would just already be like way over equipped for those earlier missions, and it'd kind of be a little more boring, I guess, in my opinion. Just to be able to just decimate everything in my way. I want to have a challenge, you know? But if I do, it's going to be a little while until I play this game again. But, well, this was a long one. I said I'd be willing to do 4 hours, and I did. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. It's been a journey to save the planet Earth from any alien attack. Take care, everybody. EDF!